What is CSS style declaration in JavaScript? Have you ever wondered how to change the look of a web page using JavaScript? One of the key tools for this is the CSS style declaration. This JavaScript interface represents a collection of CSS property value pairs. It describes the styles applied to an element or a CSS rule. With CSS style declaration, you can access style information and even modify or remove CSS properties directly within the document object model. Let's break down how this works. CSS style declaration allows you to interact with CSS styles in three main areas. First, you can work with inline styles of an HTML element. This is done through the element style property. By accessing this property, you can get or set styles directly on an element style attribute. Second, you can access styles defined in CSS rules within stylesheets. This is done using the Document Stylesheets application programming interface. For instance, you can reach a rules style declaration block and modify its properties. Third, you can retrieve computed styles using the WindowGetComputedStyle method. This gives you a read-only CSS style declaration that reflects the final styles applied after all CSS rules and inheritance are taken into account. Now, let's look at some important properties of CSS style declaration. The CSS text property is a string that represents the entire CSS declaration block as text. If you set this property, it updates the inline styles for an element. The length property tells you how many CSS properties are defined in the declaration block. Additionally, the parent rule property gives you the CSS rule object that contains this style declaration, if it applies. There are also several useful methods. The getPropertyValue method returns the value of a specified CSS property. The setProperty method allows you to set or modify a CSS property. You can even mark a property as important using an optional priority parameter. If you want to remove a CSS property, you can use the removeProperty method. The getPropertyPriority method tells you if a property has the important priority. Lastly, the item method returns the name of the CSS property at a specific index. In practical web development, CSS style declaration is essential for manipulating the document object model. You can dynamically change styles with JavaScript. For example, you can alter an element's background color, font size, or visibility by modifying its style property, which is a CSS style declaration object. You can also inspect and update styles in stylesheets or get computed styles to make decisions based on how elements currently appear. Understanding CSS style declaration helps you control styling beyond static CSS files. This leads to interactive and responsive web experiences through JavaScript-driven style changes. It is a fundamental concept for mastering document object model manipulation related to CSS in web development.